Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
My name is Masweneng Mokolwane Eric from Panama Village in Sekhukhune East District, Limpopo Province, South Africa. Our theme this session, ICT integration in the classroom. That is where every one of us is going to put much focus and debate and discussions on. Now, South Africa, like many other countries in the world, is able and has also gazetted white paper number 7, which deals with issues of ICT, and it explains ICT as follows. It explains it as a tool for management, as a tool for administration, to increase productivity, a resource for curriculum integration, a communication tool, a collaboration tool for teachers and learners. Now, I just want to take you through what I am doing in my classroom, in which my school, the Totwane Senior Secondary School, is my case study. I am integrating the use of technology so that learners will be able to enhance themselves, be able to understand what learning requires of the modern types of skills. So I'm using STEM projects for problem-solving skills. I'm also using online games for critical thinking skills. I'm also using practical games wherein our learners will be able to get entertainment through learning, which is what we call edutainment. And they also get fun, or which we refer to it as funtainment in learning and teaching. Now, I'm also using ICT tools in the classroom, especially the social media apps such as Skype, Google Meet, and other social media apps, whereby we are collaborating for virtual classroom debates, where my learners are getting communication skills, collaboration skills, and wherein my learners are also getting virtual consultation with experts in different subjects from elsewhere in the world, where they get critical thinking skills as well. Now, I'm also using gamification techniques and learning through quizzes platforms for formative assessments. I'm also using Minecraft for coding, wherein my learners are also learning through fun, and they interact and they engage one another. And with regard to quizzes, I'm doing it or using it to check the gaps in teaching. And in terms of communication and collaboration for discovery-based learning, I am collaborating outside the walls of the classroom through Skype, wherein my learners are getting through Skype to do mystery Skype, to visit other classrooms, to get a guest teacher, such as this one from Tunisia, Vietnam, and Bangladesh. I'm also using MathCube apps, which I was introduced to by Mepudira. I'm also using Google Meet Classroom, wherein my learners are able to meet with an expert from elsewhere in the world, wherein I'm trying to make this innovation in rural and urban context. So in this regard, I'm trying to close the gap. I'm also using Virtuality app, wherein you can be able to see my learners holding a hologram in his hand. That is what also was introduced to me by Mepudira Opala as well. I must acknowledge her for her presence. Now learners are also learning from their own peers, wherein I'm using technology to make sure that I engage my learners in debate and discussions with their global peers, wherein they develop metacognitive skills, and they also develop international use of language, wherein this one is the classroom from Zambia, from my brother, who we normally collaborate. And in this regard, my learners are able to exercise their linguistic skills and to use English as our lingua franca. Now, what are the benefits of this learner-centered teaching strategies that I'm using through ICT tools? Learners' voice is prioritized because they're able to engage with their fellow friends, fellow peers. Their participation is increased, teamwork is enhanced, teaching extends beyond the classrooms. Learning is no longer a solo activity, and learning is no longer passive because learners are able to engage and create their own content in their collaboration with other classrooms. Now, through ICT, I'm able to keep balance between curricular needs and different teaching styles. And there are those learners who learn through doing. And in this regard, I'm using verbal learning styles, wherein through technology tools, my learners are able to stand up and make their own presentations. I'm also using kinesthetic learning style, where my learners are able to work together to touch and to work so that they will be able to locate a speaker, especially through mystery scribes. And I'm also using the social learning styles, wherein they have to work together, collaborate with other classrooms, and make some debates as well. Now, there are those who learn visually. For those who learn visually, I'm using visual learning styles where I integrate the use of videos in the classrooms. And I'm also using oral learning styles wherein they have to listen and interact with the visual. And in this regard, the integration of audio and visual are primary in this regard. Now, what are the benefits hereafter? It brings about positive learning outcomes. Learning happens by exploring. Learning takes place by experimenting. It increases engagement of our learners. It develops different learning skills. It boosts their individual performance. It creates a holistic learning needs. And it also helps them for peer-to-peer collaboration. Now, through ICT integration, I am involving learners in their own assessment to develop their competency, skills, attitudes, and knowledge. So how do I do this? Through discussions and interviews where I engage them with experts from different universities, different sectors, and I engage them with their peers from elsewhere in the world, where they also discuss and share their experiences and their attitude, their skills, their understanding, their frustrations, their confusions. So they interact with their peers. And then in that regard, I am able to make sure that I develop their leadership skills, their collaboration skills, and their communication skills also gets better. And they also develop critical thinking skills, and this builds up their self-efficacy. Now, I'm also using social media apps such as Facebook, wherein I have created a Facebook page for our schools where my learners and parents are also involved, where we share content in it and information regarding the school. I'm also using WhatsApp as well, where I've created WhatsApp group for parents, grade 12 parents, as you can see there, where I am able to share the activities on daily basis and communiques. And in this WhatsApp group of parents, I've also included their learners within. And I've also created the WhatsApp group for my grade 12 learners, wherein the parents are also involved. Whatever I share in the parents group, I also share in the learners, so that the parents can be part of the learning of their kids. And in this regard, this helps us to make sure that learning becomes a collective responsibility between a teacher, a learner, and a parent. Now, what is the impact and the benefits hereafter? Feedback from parents builds a sense of being valued. Evidence about current knowledge and development. Feedback motivates learners. Once parents are involved, learners will be motivated. Feedback from parents reinforce positive habits. This encourages better performance. And whatever the assessment tool I'm sharing in this WhatsApp group, they also support independent learning, because within this WhatsApp group that I've created with parents, I am sharing them so that parents will be able to interact and learners will be able to interact, and that brings independent learning from our kids as well. Now, I am also using ICT tools for educational tours and career days or exhibitions, wherein I am doing this through visual trips. I'm hosting online career guidance programs. I'm using augmented apps to travel in different places, such as this one from the Faculty of Military Sciences from the University of Stellenbosch. I've taken this picture from a different angle because we are not allowed to take pictures as a record. And I'm also taking my learners into the radio, the SAPC, where they explore and get information concerning the careers that are involved in the media industry. And I'm also taking them through to experts from Vets University. I'm doing this annually with my learners through technology tools. And remember, my learners are in deep rural areas, and I'm able to take them through. Now, I also share my lessons on Microsoft Teams and YouTube. And in this regard, I share content files and assessment activities. And this makes it effective for learners, for learning to take place in this regard. I'm also using digital assessment tools, wherein I organize, I distribute, and I collect assignment and learning materials in these assessment tools. And in this regard, I'm able to instill a culture of ICT integration for the future. And once these learners are involved in these ICT integration activities, they're able to take the skill with them and be able to implement it in the future. I'm also using timeless feedback on assessment because of technology tools. I'm using I'm using Google Forms, which automatically gives us feedback. Once the learner responds, feedback goes automatically. And I'm also using Quizzes platform, which also gives automatic feedback, and it gives a automatic percentage. It also gives the learner the percentage at which they have gotten. And I'm also using a Elastic app, wherein it also gives us the opportunity for automatic analysis and grading of the results. And what is the impact thereof? It gives learners autonomy, it involves learners, it provides digital experience, it revolutionizes technology, it maximizes learning outcome, it cultivates critical thinking within our learners. Now, the fourth industrial revolution, skills and competencies in my teaching to prepare the learners for the future. I am using coding, especially for Minecraft. And when they code, they generate creativity, problem-solving skills, and critical thinking skills. I'm also using this STEAM project, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, wherein my learners are getting cutting-edge use of technology skills, informational literacy, media literacy, and ICT literacy. And this helps them to take their skills into the future. When they Zoom, they develop collaboration skills, they develop communication skills, and through visual field trips and mystery scribe, they generate or develop problem-solving skills and decision-making skills. And in this regard, the education technology tools are engaging and they spark critical thinking skills within our learners. Now, through ICT integration, I'm also helping learners to become global citizens. And through Skype, they learn more about state symbols of other nations. They learn about capital cities such as this one of Ukraine. They learn about national flags and public holidays such as this one of Tunisia and Ukraine. They also learn about international cuisine such as this one of Vietnam, of India, and Ukraine as well. They also learn about dress code and culture such as this one of Vietnam and of Tunisia. So they also learn about history, culture, and different languages such as this one of Argentina. They learn about music of Argentina. They also learn about languages from different countries such as this one of Vietnam as well. Now, I'm using ICT tools to make sure that my learners are involved in the global activities such as the World Reading Aloud Day and an hour of coding. Now, in this regard, I am trying to make sure that they build connection between spoken and written language when I involve them in World Reading Aloud Day, so that they strengthen their vocabulary and their language fluency. And with regard to the hour of coding, they develop high-level thinking and computer science skill. And this skill is quite important for the 21st century. What is the impact thereof? They develop mutual respect to say no to xenophobia, because we are notorious of xenophobia and racism. It helps them to spark empathy and curiosity. It breaks the stereotypes. It helps them to embrace diversity and to become global citizens. Now what is the effect on with regard to the use of ICT tools in terms of race presence and social cohesion? Learners from different races to have xenophobia and appreciate diversity. I also help my learners to become global citizens and generate computational thinking skills, such as with Microsoft, we used to connect through Microsoft Global Connect, that is no longer active. And we also had the privilege of bringing Mas, who was brought by Mepudira Opala in my school to introduce coding and robotics. And this helps my learners to become digitally enabled citizens and global citizens. Now, how do I deal with poor facilities and inadequate resources because I am in rural areas? My learners travel without passport. I am also using my own resources to teach my learners to add life to e-learning. I am using a white class to augment multiple learning styles. I am downloading videos from YouTube to reduce cognitive overload of my learners. How do I help or how do I encourage mutual learning through ICT integration in the classroom? I am inviting online guests, such as this one from the University of Cape Town. I'm doing guest teaching elsewhere in the world, such as this one of Nepal, in Skukune East District. I'm also using exchange programs such as this one of Vietnam. And remember, this is cost effective just through the use of data. Now, what is the impact of ICT integration in the classroom? I am trying to mobilize e-learning, promote the 21st century skill, use of learner's response system, promote virtual classroom, promote distance education, stimulate ICT culture, revolutionize technology, promote a hybrid and or blended learning. Now, what are the barriers that I am encountering in my school? Now, absence or inadequacy of resources is the challenge. Public resistance to change. This has been experienced by many across the continent. Pace and scale of change, which is always too slow. Risk aversion from our leaders and accountability from our leaders. Technical barriers from our leaders. Professional resistance from our colleagues and leaders. Absence of capacity from our leaders and our colleagues, and organizational learning. These are the barriers that we are facing as educators and that which I am facing from my school. And I thank you so much. God bless you.
Yes, yeah, so thank you so much, Mokolwane Eric. That was amazing. That was a great presentation. I just want to thank you more sincerely for taking time to do the presentation. I think it was very, very informative. And if I'm just to read a few reactions that are coming from the live chat, you just allow me to read a few reactions coming from the live chat. Olive Obenga says, a nice presentation, good content, nice presentation, very informative. That is coming from Olive Ndemo from Kenya. That is from Mombasa. And then we're having Teresa Jenamiso, I believe is from Botswana, says very, very informative presentation. Thank you so much. We have Mr. Stephen Nova from Nova Pioneer Group of Schools. They says, thank you so much. We also have Robert Motari, one of our great educators from Kenya, says great teachers of our time. Thank you so much, dear brother. I think we're having so much appreciation coming from the audience. We're also having our very own distinguished educator from South Africa, Puti Ragopala, who says this is what we want to see happening in schools. Job well done. So if you are here and you are not doing what Eric is doing, you are doing a lot of injustice to your students. The reason is why we bring educators from different countries, we do such kind of discussion, is so that you can also be able to borrow a leaf and so that you can be able to implement the same in your classroom. We want to see educators making use of Skype in the classroom. We want to Skype. We want to see educators making use of Minecraft, like Mokolwane Eric, and so forth. So for the interest of time, just going to stop there. I just want to take this opportunity to welcome our next